Hello everyone and welcome back. And this will be a general weekly reading for the sign of Scorpio for the week of April 20th. And I would like to thank each and every one of you out there who have been subscribing to my channel and helping it grow and getting it noticed. Thank you. And of course for all the thumbs up on all the videos that you've watched. And also hitting the hype button. And of course, all the lovely comments. It is truly nice to hear from each and every one of you out there. I do appreciate you take time out of your day to do that for me, because it certainly makes my week. So thank you very, very much for that. Okay. And the Queen of Wands starting with. Well, it looks like there's going to be a new successful venture for some of you. You know, you managed to get something off the ground that you have wanted to start for a while. And now you're understanding that it's all within your hands to keep going forward. So you're taking the next bold steps. And as you do, more doors are opening for you. Things are really starting to come together in a much better place for yourself. You were doubting yourself for a while here, but you've managed to gather yourself and then step forward. So this is a new start and you're feeling more stronger about the position, more motivated for this change. And the Three of Cups, yes. Get-togethers, celebrations, collaborations. You know, this is a get-together of people that are like-minded like yourself. This could be an invitation to something as well, but you are feeling much more optimistic about something. Moving forward, you're really in a much happier place for yourself. You're more optimistic, you're moving forward, you're around people that appreciate you for who you are and what you bring to the table. And you're not being really asked for anything from anybody. You're just going with the flow. And the King of Cups, very nice. Yeah, you're motivated to resolving issues, problems in all areas of your life. Relationships, friends, family, job, you know, coexistent people in your life. But there's all kinds of relationships that you are understanding more. You have a much more understanding of the people around you who you can trust. You're following your instincts more. Understanding that with each time you understand what is before you, it helps you to make that bigger step forward for yourself. So you're trusting in yourself and your instincts going forward. And the Page of Cups, very nice. Wow. Looks like could be a new romance starting for some of you. There's good news on the way. It's usually in the form of romance. So this could be somebody asking you out to go for a coffee, or perhaps ask you where you go and you have your coffee when you're out and accidentally bump into you while you're there. You know, those sort of meetings. But it's quite flattering. You're feeling more inspired because of this. It just sort of gives you that, you know, self-esteem lift, and it helps you to break the ice, get to know the person, spend a little more time around somebody. And the Justice. Yeah. Okay. Well, it looks like there's some sort of contract, some sort of legal documentation that needs to be finished up in your life. You know, clarity, balance, and you're all about that this week. You want to know where you're going, how you're going to get there, and how long it's going to take. You want that much clarity right now. There's a contract that needs to be looked at and dealt with. Now that can be divorce, settlement to do with something. Somebody owes you some money and you're trying to get it back. But you're making sure whatever this is, whether it's renting an apartment or whatever, you're realizing you're making sure that you are protected as you go forward. Yeah, the Nine of Rods. Definitely made a decision on what your next step is. You're not questioning it. You're not thinking about it. You're determined. So you are really starting to come into your own strength, your own understanding of yourself. And when you do that, it opens so many more doors. And it's not that you're trying to open these doors. It's just they are naturally opening. It's like the universe saying, yes, take your stand up for yourself. That sort of intuition. But there's something that you've come to an understanding with this week. Knowing that, okay, times are changing, things are changing around you, but in a good way. So you found yourself confidence back. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. Definitely collaborating with somebody else. And this can be in a job situation. Maybe they've come to you to become a teacher or mentor to somebody else. So they're asking for your assistance. But this is collaboration. Maybe you've been at a job for a long time and you definitely know more than most. So they're coming to you with the questions. So, this is teamwork, collaboration, and you're learning. You're finding your strength within your own knowledge. And the Page of Swords. Yeah, there's a little bit of disagreement going on right now. And it's not a big one. This is just something that's been chewing at you for a while, and you want to settle it so that you know where your relationships in your life are at and to what level and degree. You're not really holding back. You're allowing yourself finally to speak what's on your mind without repercussions. So you're taking your stance here. You know what it is that you have to say. And you're quite capable of doing it. You didn't want to, but you're realizing that you're tired of going home at night thinking about this and not saying anything about it. So one way or the other, you're going to deal with this. Yeah, and the Eight of Cups. Learning to walk away. Understanding you're no longer a willing participant in this. And that can be in all areas of your life. You've put in so much to a situation and it's not got you what your outcome was, what your look on life was. So you're walking away from it. You're cutting it loose. You're understanding. You're no longer participating in this, no longer giving it time, energy. And you've come to the limit. For yourself. You've understood that, time is wasting and you're no longer going to keep putting into something that is not giving you anything back in return. So you're walking away from this. And the Four of Pentacles. Watching your finances, hanging on to your money, understanding that it's okay. They call that the miser card. I call it smart. You're hanging on to your finances. You're investing. You're not overspending. You're making sure that you don't backslide. So you're saving money for your security for the future. And you're realizing that you are in control of this. Probably in the past, you've sort of hit a slide where, something come up that was unexpected, so it put a little bit deeper dent in your pocket, and you don't ever want to feel that again. So you're making sure that you feel secure where you're at in life. And the Page, the Knight. He's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Well, there's travel plans here. Looks like for a lot of you, it's just a little ways away. Taking a walk in a park, that sort of thing. Not a far destination, but a destination nonetheless. You've already planted your seeds. And now you're just waiting for your harvest to come in. So you're allowing yourself to have a little luxury in your life. Do something that makes you put a smile on your face. And you are okay with this. You have values. You know what you need, what you want and desire. And you're willing to put time, energy, and effort into achieving it. And the Four of Cups. Yeah, well, that's okay. understanding where you're at, what you have, asking yourself, you're meditating a little bit more, asking yourself more questions as to, cause and effect. Do I have enough? Am I comfortable where I'm at? You're just going a little bit within, trying to figure out what your next move is, how much more you want to put into something. But you're comfortable. You're just asking yourself that question, how do I, whatever that is for you, how do I go about getting the new job? How do I go about moving? All those sort of questions that go through everybody's mind. But this time, this is yours. And it's going to take courage on your behalf, especially with the 7 of Rods. There's courage, compassion, protection, and you're maintaining control in your situations. You're not just all over the map here. You are contemplating each step as you go through this. And the Knight of Rods. So yeah, there's definitely some sort of holiday, getaway, that sort of thing for some of you. This could be by SUV, motorcycle, train. You just want to get away, get out of something for a while. And doesn't have to be for a long distance. This can be just, you taking that break away from everybody. Not doing anything impulsive. You're just going with the flow a little bit more this week as you move through it. And the High Priestess. Okay. So definitely more reassurance from the universe, telling you right place, right time. Things were starting to take flight and grow. And you're driven to succeed. You're trusting yourself, your instincts, your purpose in some cases. But you are feeling stronger as you step into this weekend, the future here. You're moving away from things that don't serve you, people, places, and things. You're making sure that everything is done above board. You're not questioning yourself or having worries in the future. You're taking care of your finances. And the 7 of Cups, needing to make a decision, a choice. And it's not easy for you. You have wonderful dreams. But you're also realizing that if you don't try, they are forever just a dream. And you're starting to understand that more and more. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. And it's not easy for you. It's not easy for anybody. But it's not easy for you to just, do something. But you're turning those wishes into reality. You're taking your wishful thinkings and making it happen for yourself. Taking your daydreams, understanding what the next move is. Maybe you were thinking of, starting some sort of entrepreneur business, and now you're looking it up. What kind of licensing do you need? Where should the best place to live? That sort of thing. You're trying to figure out what is the best starting point for yourself. And the Hangman. Yeah, definitely going within much more this week than you have in a while. Understanding that there's been a big change in your life. And you're finding the purpose for yourself going forward. So you're letting go of things. You're stepping into a new future. Because you're taking a different view, a different insight into something that really changed you recently. But it's also helped you heal and move forward as well. Some of you have actually gone to seek somebody professionally to talk to them about things from your past. You don't want to rinse and repeat anymore. You want your life to go a certain way, and you're realizing sometimes you need to come to an understanding of why it sort of goes back around to a circle again. You don't want to do that. So you're definitely changing your perspective and how you manage many things in your life this week. And you're stepping into it more secure with yourself, making those decisions and not second guessing them. All right. Yeah. The 10 of Rods. So definitely laying down the burdens, walking away from something that no longer serves you. You're understanding that you have put time, energy, and effort into many things in your life to find them crumble below you. You know, this can be in the job situation. You give and give and give, and they just keep adding more on you. There's never a thank you or a gratitude. So you're letting that all go with the understanding that there's better out there for yourself. You can release this. And once you come to that understanding that you will be okay and you can move forward now, it's going to change your perspective on what comes at you in the future. So you're really moving in a new direction. You know, understanding you're much stronger than you had given yourself credit for and moving in a new direction. All right, and your oracle card. Look to the future with hope and optimism. The power of faith to move mountains. Happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. Now, isn't that perfect? And on that note, I will say goodbye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will definitely talk to you again next week. Bye for now.